Across the United States, bears are stepping out of forests and boldly walking down neighborhood streets daily. What once felt like a wilderness rarity has now become common in some suburban and urban landscapes. From trash cans to backyard pools, bears are adapting quickly to city life in surprising and alarming ways. These are not isolated incidents. They reflect a growing shift in bear behavior across multiple U.S. states. In Colorado, black bears are frequently spotted wandering residential neighborhoods like they belong there naturally. Aspen and Boulder residents report bear sightings near cafes, schoolyards, and even open garage doors regularly. Drawn by overflowing dumpsters and the smell of food, bears are changing their schedules to match ours. Wildlife officials say some bears have become nocturnal specifically to avoid detection and move through towns unnoticed. California, especially the Sierra Nevada region, sees hundreds of bear-human conflicts every year in populated areas. Lake Tahoe neighborhoods deal with bears breaking into cabins and even cars just to access snacks inside. Many locals call them Yogi Bears for their clever ability to open doors and raid coolers silently. One bear famously entered over 24 homes before finally being relocated far from any human settlements. In North Carolina, black bears roam the streets of Asheville and other towns nestled near mountain ranges. They're often spotted on porch cameras, wandering sidewalks, or rifling through garbage cans left overnight. Locals are advised to bear-proof their trash, but even that sometimes isn't enough to deter persistence. The bears are getting bolder each year, creating tension between suburban convenience and local wildlife conservation efforts. In Pennsylvania, black bears are appearing more frequently in places like Scranton and the outskirts of Pittsburgh. Spring and summer bring peak sightings as young bears explore urban environments in search of easy meals. Residents are warned not to approach bears, but curious onlookers often make situations more dangerous unintentionally. Wildlife officials believe expanded development into bear territory is one of the key drivers behind the trend. In Florida, the Panhandle region, particularly near Ocala and Apopka, sees bears rummaging through suburban neighborhoods. Black bears are protected in the state, which limits options for removing problematic individuals from cities. One bear even climbed a tree in downtown Orlando, sparking a public safety scramble and street closures. Florida's bear population is growing, and urban sprawl means more overlap between wildlife corridors and city limits. Tennessee, especially in areas near the Great Smoky Mountains, reports rising bear encounters close to tourist zones. Gatlinburg, a bustling town, has seen bears stroll past diners, wander hotel parking lots, and even enter shops. Tourist food waste is a powerful lure, training bears to associate humans with high-calorie rewards quickly. Even signs warning "do not feed the bears" aren't enough when fast food bags are left unattended. In New Jersey, suburban areas near the Appalachian Mountains are experiencing increasing reports of bears on doorsteps. These aren't wilderness outposts. They're densely populated towns where families live just minutes from major highways. One family awoke to a bear swimming in their above-ground pool, captured on a viral video clip. State officials say bear populations are thriving in North Jersey, especially as natural food becomes less reliable. Utah's bear encounters have also risen sharply, especially in areas like Park City and the Salt Lake suburbs. As more development spread into bear habitat, the overlap causes nightly raids on bird feeders and trash bins. In some neighborhoods, residents have installed motion-activated lights and alarms just to deter nightly bear visits. Experts warn that bears losing their fear of humans can escalate from nuisance to serious safety threat quickly. In Montana, bears have been spotted walking the streets of towns like Missoula and Bozeman during early mornings. Grizzly and black bears alike are testing boundaries, lured by garbage, fruit trees, and unattended dog food. Montana's wide-open spaces are shrinking as housing developments push further into natural migration and feeding routes. Some ranchers now keep bear spray near barns while urban residents report bears on Ring cameras frequently. Why are these bear incursions into city streets happening with more frequency than ever before in history? One major reason is that bears are smart, opportunistic animals always seeking easy access to calorie-rich foods. City streets offer leftovers, fast food, birdseed, pet kibble, compost and other treats in abundant supply. As climate shifts affect natural food sources like berries or acorns, bears explore new options closer to people. Urban expansion also cuts through traditional bear ranges, forcing the animals to navigate cityscapes just to survive. New highways, subdivisions and malls create barriers that funnel bears toward populated areas almost like a maze. In many cases, young bears are the first to venture into cities, learning habits that spread generationally. Cubs raised near humans often lose their fear early, growing up accustomed to human structures and routines. Some states have attempted bear hazing programs, using noisemakers or rubber bullets to discourage urban incursions. Others install bear-proof trash cans and community education programs, urging residents to never feed wild animals. But results are mixed. Once a bear learns city streets offer food, it's hard to unteach that behavior. Relocation is sometimes used, but bears often return, especially if they've memorized easy food sources or paths. There's also a moral dilemma when a bear becomes aggressive or dangerous. It's often euthanized to protect people. But many argue it's humans who disrupted habitats and created conditions where bears seek food in town. Balancing safety with compassion becomes difficult as people demand solutions that don't involve lethal force or relocation. Communities must learn to coexist with intelligent wildlife, especially as these animals adapt faster than expected. In the long run, bear-human interactions will only increase unless smarter planning protects natural wildlife corridors. This means preserving forested links between wilderness areas and reducing attractants within neighborhoods, especially unsecured garbage. It also means more outreach educating families on how to live near bears without increasing personal risk daily. Because these animals aren't just intruders, they're survivors doing what it takes to live in a rapidly changing world. Across many states, bears are now a symbol of nature reclaiming space in a human-dominated environment. They remind us that wilderness isn't always distant, and wild animals will follow wherever the food leads. Whether that's a national park trail or a suburban driveway, the line between wild and urban is fading. And if we want harmony, we must treat bears not as villains, but as neighbors we must understand.